Hey folks, Steve Bird here. Just a little bit of promotional material for the upcoming book, Viking One. I use a lot of older guns in my books, and I know a lot of my readers just happen to be fellow gun nuts like myself, so they get every little nuance and detail. But some folks, even if you're into shooting, maybe you're not necessarily into the classics. So I thought I'd explain a few things that might make a little more sense when you read the upcoming release. One of the guns that I used in the original series in book 1 in the Rutherford's boat, the Mother Washington, it was M1 Garand, which he had a couple stashed up front. This is an M1 Garand. This one, based on serial numbers, is 1943. I purchased it myself from Camp Perry CMP, and it's a jewel. It's had a rough life. You can tell it's got plenty of bumps and dings and scratches on it, but this morning I've been shooting 1-inch groups at 100 yards with the factory open sights, and you just can't complain about that. So one of the things I talk about in the book is I mentioned the phrase clip when referring to an M1 Garand. You might have heard people make fun of people for using the phrase clip instead of magazine, and that's because they're two totally different things. But unfortunately, a lot of folks these days call a magazine a clip. This is a clip. It's a tiny little metal clip. There's what it looks like loaded. This is an M1 Garand in-block clip. Feeds from the top. And that's a Hornady, special load from Hornady 30-06 made just for the M1 Garand. This is a magazine. It's a box. It's a container. This feeds into the bottom of, this one's for an M1A, which is the newer variant, Vietnam era variant of the M1 Garand, made to shoot 7.62 by 51 NATO, also known as .308 Winchester. So there's a big difference between clip and magazine, and when I talk about the Garand, you'll hear me use the phrase clip. When I talk about everything else, you'll hear me use the phrase magazine, and that's because that is the technically correct terms. I know most of you know this already, but this is for the benefit of the folks that don't. So I'm going to fire the M1 Garand here on video to show you what I refer to as the ping. Multiple times I talk about, and as the gun ran dry, you heard the ping of the empty clip. So you're going to see exactly what that is. The way an M1 Garand is designed, it's basically got an internal magazine built into it with a follower that pushes up with a spring. So when it gets to that last round and fires that last round off, it's made to eject the clip up and out of the gun and out of the way. That way the soldier can shove a fresh one in, let the op rod go forward, and off they go back into battle. That ping could have been a drawback at times when the enemy can obviously tell when your gun runs dry, because it waves the flag and says, hey, I'm empty. So anyway, I'm going to show you exactly what that ping looks like. I know I'm going to get feedback from folks yelling at me for not wearing eye protection, but I'm a little bit too far from the house to be tromping through the mud to go get some, so I'm just going to risk it. So make fun of me all you want. Loaded, op rod went home. It's an 8-round clip. After the 8th round, you'll see the ping. Hear that? Action's empty on top. Ammo's ejected. It's clear and safe. And there's the empty clip. So now when you hear me use the phrase clip and ping, for those of you that don't already know, now when you're reading the book, it'll make a lot more sense to you. Thanks for watching.